Now, the human tragedy is worsening in Moscow as acrid smoke from wildfires engulfs the city. Coupled with temperatures soaring past 35 degrees, the city's death rate is doubling to about 700 people a day. Fire crews have their hands full battling more than 550 fires, and so far an area 3 times the size of Luxembourg has already burned. We can cross live now to Moscow, and Bloomberg's Yuriy Humber is there for us. Yuriy, can you explain to me just what it feels like to be in Moscow at the moment?
Good morning, Andrea. The feeling is a little bit nervous and tense because Moscow is not a city that's used to the heat, and then suddenly you have the smogs and the peat fires, which of course make the smog very, very heavy. And it means every time you go outside, you get a breath of something a little bit bitter. And it's not a pleasant feeling, as we're told. It's double the levels of carbon monoxide. So the situation really is not good for opening windows for a little bit of ventilation at night.
Now, an awful lot of people have already left the city. Are there more who are planning to leave?
I think the traffic is starting to slow a little bit, but we did see an absolute record number of people flying out on one day. On Sunday, we had 105,000 people fly out from the 3 major airports, which are not exactly coping with this. And of course, the smog's not helping the conditions either, because visibility at one of the airports is just, below 2 kilometers. Also, the roads are fairly chock-a-block. And I think that, certainly the businesses and the banks are starting to send people home and telling them, work at home if you can.
No, we are also getting reports that the death rate in Moscow has doubled. Is it respiratory problems that are causing these deaths?
Well, definitely, especially for people that are sort of in the pension age bracket and above. Heart problems, I think, are definitely something that have been mentioned by the authorities. Generally, though, I think most of the people that were in an absolute acute condition have already left the city or are being treated at the moment. OK, and
how are officials coping generally with this?
Well, we finally have the mayor of Moscow back in the city. He initially didn't think it was bad enough to come back, but now he is, and he's actually promising in the recent newspaper interviews, promising that we'll have floods and rain next. So it's getting quite biblical. Otherwise, the president and the prime minister have been generally criticizing the lack of infrastructure to cope with the problems, but then again, we've yet to see some improvements in that. We're being promised that fires may be extinguished within a week.
And what is happening with the financial markets? What's the effect of all of that?
Well, HSBC and Eurosub Capital estimate that this disaster will actually take 1 percentage point off GDP. That's $15 billion. And banks are sending people home.
OK. Yuriy, thank you very much indeed from Moscow.